Have you ever imagined a world where we can program biology just like we program software? Well, there is a new AI model in town that's not only predicting the shapes of proteins, but also creating entirely new ones. This cutting-edge tech is transforming how we understand and manipulate the building blocks of life, opening doors to innovations in medicine, environmental solutions, and beyond. Keep watching to see what the future of biological engineering looks like. So, let's start by refreshing our knowledge of biology. Proteins are the basic building blocks of the biological world. These tiny molecules are designed to perform a multitude of tasks that keep living organisms ticking. They're the movers and shakers behind muscle contractions, photosynthesis in plants, and the human immune system. Think of them as the unsung heroes working tirelessly behind the scenes to make everything function smoothly in living organisms. Now, here's where it gets wild. Traditionally, proteins have been shaped by the slow grind of natural evolution over millions of years. But what if we could step into this role, designing and evolving proteins with precision and speed that nature could only dream of? Well, this is where AI comes into play. Remember Alphafold? Alphafold is a groundbreaking creation by Google's DeepMind that has gained significant attention for its extraordinary ability to predict the 3D structures of proteins with remarkable accuracy. This achievement is monumental in the field of biology, as the function of proteins is intricately linked to their three-dimensional shapes. Proteins are not merely defined by their chemical composition. Their functionality is dictated by the specific ways in which they fold and form structures. While Alphafold's breakthrough in predicting protein structures was a monumental step, it primarily focused on understanding existing proteins. The next frontier is to move from prediction to design, essentially, to program new proteins from scratch. And this is where the new AI model shines. But before touching on the new AI model, you need to understand something about proteins. Proteins are programmable. Yes, just like your computer, except that instead of lines of code, proteins are programmed with amino acids. Thus, if we could read and write in the code of life, which is essentially the sequence of amino acids in proteins, we could program biology itself. Enter ESM3, the new AI model. It is a language model designed to play with the code of life. It's like ChatGPT, but for proteins. This AI model can engineer biology from first principles, similar to how we build machines or write software. So, how does it work? With most AI models today, we tokenize everything. For text, we break down sentences into tokens. For proteins, ESM3 tokenizes their biological properties, sequence, structure, and function. Sequence is like the protein's text, the amino acid order. Structure is the 3D shape, which Alphafold nailed, and function is what the protein actually does. ESM3 bridges these three aspects, learning to simulate evolution itself. When scaled across billions of proteins and parameters, this model can follow prompts to generate new proteins. ESM3 was recently put to the test, and it was about to engineer a GFP, the green fluorescent protein. You know, those glowing proteins in jellyfish that have become indispensable in biotechnology? Well, ESM3 managed to create a new version of GFP that is only 58% similar to the closest known fluorescent protein. If this new protein was to occur naturally, it would take 500 million years of evolution, but ESM3 engineered it in mere moments. Just let that sink in. And as if that's not mind-blowing enough, the potential practical applications of this AI model are incredible. To start with, it means we can now build custom enzymes that can degrade plastics, addressing one of our planet's most pressing environmental issues. But it doesn't stop there. Think about all the greenhouse gases we're pumping into the atmosphere. What if we could design enzymes that act like super-efficient carbon capture machines? We could potentially create forests of genetically modified plants with these enzymes, sucking up carbon dioxide as it is released. Now, let's talk medicine. This is where it gets personal for a lot of us. We've all either taken medication ourselves or know someone who has, and we've seen the side effects that can come with them. But what if we could design drugs that are so precise that they only interact with exactly the protein they're supposed to? It's like having a key that fits only one lock in the entire world. Imagine treatments for diseases like cancer that don't make you sick while trying to make you better, or medications for mental health that don't cause all those annoying side effects. We're talking about a potential revolution in healthcare here. And don't even get us started on enhanced biomaterials. We could create materials that are stronger than steel but light as a feather. Think about what that could mean for things like prosthetics. We could have artificial limbs that feel and function almost like the real thing. Or how about this? Imagine implants that your body doesn't reject because they're made from materials so compatible with human biology that your body thinks they're part of you. This could be game-changing for people needing organ transplants or joint replacements. And it's not just medical applications. We could create new fabrics for clothing that keep you at the perfect temperature, no matter the weather outside. Or maybe super strong, lightweight materials for building safer, more efficient vehicles. The possibilities here are mind-boggling. We're talking about a future where we can custom design solutions to problems at the molecular level. It's like having a 3D printer, but instead of plastic, we're printing with the building blocks of life itself. And here's the cherry on top. This model is open source. The team behind ESM3 is committed to open science, releasing both the model weights and the code. This transparency accelerates progress, reduces risks, and maximizes positive impacts globally. They've put out the 1.4 billion parameter model for anyone to use, under a non-commercial license. So, researchers and nonprofits can dive right in, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in biotechnology. Now, we know this sounds a bit like playing God, and yes, it's a bit scary, but the potential benefits are astronomical. We're talking about drastically reducing illness, preventing suffering, and maybe even slowing down aging to a crawl. This AI doesn't just have the potential to extend our lifespans, it could fundamentally change how we interact with biology, making the fantastical almost routine. For those itching to get their hands dirty, you can download ESM3 and run it on your local machine, provided you agree to the non-commercial terms. It's all on GitHub, written in Python. The largest model in the family boasts 98 billion parameters, an enormous leap in AI capability. In our next video, we touch on another way through which AI can save the world, but this time, it has to do with music.